What if your body was whispering a warning, but you couldn't hear it? For millions of people over 60, that's not just a possibility, it's a reality. The truth is, some of the most dangerous health conditions don't start with pain, or a sudden fall, or an emergency room visit. They begin quietly. A little fatigue here, a missed meal there, a strange ache you chalk up to age. And all the while, beneath the surface, something serious is unfolding. But this isn't about fear, it's about power. The power of knowing what to look for before it's too late. Because with early detection, most silent killers can be slowed, stopped, even reversed. Today on Timeless Wisdom, we're walking through 5 deadly health threats that often begin without warning signs after 60. But more importantly, we'll show you how to catch them early, what subtle signals to watch for, and how to start a life-saving conversation with your doctor. So grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's get empowered together. Because you deserve to live not just longer, but better. And it starts with knowing what to listen for. Let's begin with one of the most feared and misunderstood health threats of our time, pancreatic cancer, often called the silent killer because it rarely shows symptoms until it's already advanced. But what makes it so dangerous also gives us a unique opportunity. If we know the subtle signals to look for, we can act early and potentially save a life. Your pancreas sits quietly behind your stomach. It helps digest food and regulate blood sugar, but when cancer develops there, it grows quietly, sometimes for months, even years. So what should you watch for? Unexplained weight loss. If you're losing pounds without trying, especially after 60, don't assume it's just age. Changes in your stool, greasy, pale, or floating stools can be a sign your pancreas isn't releasing enough digestive enzymes. Sudden back pain, especially if it's persistent and radiates from your abdomen. New diagnosis of diabetes. If you're suddenly diabetic in your 60s or 70s, especially without weight gain, doctors are learning this can be an early clue to pancreatic issues. You're more at risk if you've had a history of smoking. Chronic pancreatitis, a family member with pancreatic cancer, or if you're significantly overweight. So what can you do? Ask your doctor about abdominal imaging, like a CT scan or MRI, if you have multiple red flags. Regular blood sugar checks, and discuss your full family medical history. Don't dismiss the little things. In many cases, these small signs are your body's early alarm bells. And when it comes to pancreatic cancer, catching it early can be the difference between hope and heartbreak. Next on our list is a condition that doesn't hurt. It flutters, it whispers, not in your chest, but in your pulse. It's called atrial fibrillation, or AFib, and it affects nearly 1 in 10 people over 65. The frightening part? Many don't even know they have it. Atrial fibrillation is an irregular, often rapid heartbeat, and while it may seem harmless at first, it can increase your risk of stroke by 5 times. Here's why. When the upper chambers of your heart, the atria, don't beat properly, blood can pool and form clots. Those clots can then travel to the brain, causing a devastating stroke. But AFib doesn't always show itself clearly. So how do you know if something's off? Listen to your body. Early warning signs include sudden fatigue, even after light activity, feeling off or lightheaded, a racing heart even while sitting still, shortness of breath when lying down, an irregular or skipping heartbeat you can feel in your chest or neck. And here's the good news. AFib is very detectable with a simple EKG, a painless test done in minutes. You can even check your pulse. At home, place 2 fingers on your wrist, count the beats for 60 seconds. If it feels irregular or uneven, don't ignore it. Who's most at risk? Those with high blood pressure, sleep apnea, thyroid disorders, and yes, age itself. Prevention matters. Keep your blood pressure in check. Cut back on caffeine and alcohol. Keep your body moving every day. If something doesn't feel right, trust that instinct. You know your body better than anyone, and in the case of AFib, early awareness doesn't just prevent discomfort, it prevents catastrophe. Sometimes the most serious issues are the ones you don't feel at all. That's exactly what makes chronic kidney disease, or CKD, so dangerous, especially after 60. Your kidneys are two fist-sized organs that quietly filter your blood, remove waste and balance fluids. They work hard and they work silently, but as we age, kidney function often declines. And by the time symptoms appear, up to 90% of kidney function may already be gone. That's why early detection is everything. So, what are the subtle clues? Swelling in your ankles or feet, often mistaken for just aging. Foamy or bubbly urine, a sign of protein leakage, which healthy kidneys should prevent. Fatigue and weakness. Your kidneys help produce red blood cells. When they're failing, oxygen drops. Trouble concentrating or feeling foggy. A lesser known but real symptom of declining kidney health. You're at higher risk if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, a history of heart disease, or take certain over-the-counter medications like NSAIDs, ibuprofen, naproxen regularly. But here's the hopeful part. 2 simple tests can spot kidney trouble early. 1. A blood test for creatinine to estimate your eGFR, how well your kidneys are filtering. 2. A urine test to check for protein, albumin leaks. These tests are fast, inexpensive, and potentially life-saving. If your results show early-stage CKD, lifestyle changes can slow or stop progression. Drink plenty of water. Cut back on salt. Keep your blood sugar and blood pressure in healthy ranges. Eat more plants, less processed meat. And always talk to your doctor before using pain medications long-term, even the ones sold without a prescription. Your kidneys may not shout for help, but if you listen closely, they do whisper, and you can answer before it's too late. Imagine slowly losing your vision and not realizing it until it's too late to get it back. That's the quiet tragedy of glaucoma, often called the silent thief of sight. Glaucoma is a group of eye conditions that damage the optic nerve, the connection between your eye and your brain. And once that nerve is damaged, it cannot be repaired. The scariest part, most people feel no pain, no pressure, no warning. They only notice when their side vision begins to vanish. And by then, the damage is permanent. So how can you catch glaucoma early? First, understand the risk. Age is a major factor, especially after 60. Family history increases your chances significantly. Eye pressure, diabetes, and high blood pressure are common links. But the number one tool you have is simple: an annual eye exam. During that exam, ask your optometrist for intraocular pressure measurement. High pressure inside the eye is the number one warning sign. Optic nerve imaging to detect early changes. Visual field testing to spot blind spots you may not notice on your own. These tests are painless, fast, and may be covered by insurance, especially after age 65. Can lifestyle help? Absolutely. Stay physically active. It supports healthy blood flow to the eyes. Eat leafy greens, fish rich in omega-3s, and colorful vegetables. They support overall eye health. Avoid smoking and manage blood pressure and blood sugar. Most importantly, don't skip your eye checkups, because when it comes to glaucoma, the difference between early detection and too late can be the difference between seeing your grandchildren's faces or fading into darkness, and that's a future no one deserves. Colon cancer doesn't always start with pain. It doesn't always start with blood. Sometimes it starts with nothing at all, and that's the danger. Colorectal cancer, cancer of the colon or rectum, is the second leading cause of cancer. Deaths in the US. But here's the good news. It's also one of the most preventable. Colon cancer usually begins as tiny polyps, small growths on the inside of your colon. They're harmless at first, but over years they can become cancer. And here's the catch. Polyps cause no symptoms in the beginning, which means the only way to stop them is to look for them. But if symptoms do appear, pay close attention. Warning signs include blood in your stool, especially if it's dark or hidden, persistent changes in bowel habits like diarrhea, constipation, or narrower stools, unexplained fatigue from internal blood loss, a sense that your bowels don't empty completely. Who's at risk? Anyone over 50, though many now start screening at 45. Those with a family history, people with diets low in fiber and high in red or processed meats. So what can you do? Get screened. Colonoscopies can find and remove polyps before they turn cancerous. If you're healthy and over 50, every 10 years is often enough. But if you have higher risks, you may need one sooner or more frequently. There are also stool-based screening tests you can do from home. Talk to your doctor about your options. Colon cancer is silent in the beginning, but early screening gives you a voice and control. By now you can see a pattern. None of these conditions scream, they whisper, and too often we learn to ignore the whisper. We assume we're just tired, aging, slowing down. But here's the truth. Your body always speaks, and you deserve to listen, whether it's a racing heart, foggy thinking, or a quiet change in your bathroom habits. These subtle signs are not just part of getting older. They are invitations to check in, to take action, to protect the years still ahead of you, because aging doesn't mean surrendering your health. It means learning how to guard it, wisely, gently, and early. So don't wait for pain to get your attention. Let awareness be your first defense. And remember, the best time to catch a silent condition is before it ever becomes loud. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom, where we believe every year you gain is a gift worth protecting.